right now, it's kind of tricky. I'm doing the thing where I'm signing each one. So I don't, it makes it a little tough, and they're mailing them out and everything. But yeah, it's hard to keep up with.
That probably accounts for some of what's been keeping you so busy lately, because I know you've been pretty well snowed under, and I appreciate you taking the time to spend a few minutes with us here today. The other thing that you're doing that is a little bit unusual, and I personally think it's a great idea. I've been an advocate of using social media for exactly what it's for, to be able to communicate with people. And I noticed you're doing a thing on your Facebook page where you're actually asking the fans and listeners to write in their reviews of your new record.
Yeah, ultimately, the people who buy your record, they're the judge and jury of what your content is, and and I want to hear from them, and it's. They buy the CD and listen to it, and hoping that they love it. And so far, the reviews have been, just tremendous, and I get personal messages, and it's really just confirms and gives you validation, and
absolutely
for what you're doing. And so, yeah, it's really fun. It's
well,
really
I think the whole feel, right from listening to the sound to the reaction to it, and as you've just pointed out, the messages you're getting through social media, everything is just so personal. It's kind of like one of those small, intimate living room concerts or something, where you really feel you are actually with the artist, not sitting back watching them.
Well, it really is. I think that the kind of shows, I toured with the band for, several years, and the bus out there, and was doing a lot of shows with all the big artists out there when I had my deal on Mercury, and which was really fun. Always had a great band and played for, a lot of people. But the thing I'm doing now that I'm just really enjoying, I still take the band out now and then, but right now I'm just doing acoustic shows, and it's just it's really intimate. You got these people, and they're just hanging on every word. And one of my favorite parts is telling the stories behind the songs and why they were written, how they were written, and how that the artist and producer or record label got to hear the song for the first time and their reaction. And so it's really cool when the people just. I swear, I think they like the stories better than they like the songs.
We like to hear the stories too, and it does reach the listeners. We get a lot of comments on the artists explaining how the songs were made. The young lady we just had on before was talking about her new release and the fact that it was really a negative personal experience that inspired the song. But that's really what a lot of it is about. It's like just plain poetry, in that you're expressing your inner feelings, whether they're imaginary or if there's something that's a result of something that's happened to you.
Yeah. It's interesting. When I sit down to write a song, most of the time, sometimes I'll have a melody that will inspire, something, evoke an emotion. But I rarely start with a hook or, a title, what they call a hook. And
right.
I usually start with the first line. And by, starting with the first line, you're not boxed into a title. And the title will present itself as you can paint better pictures, or at least I can, by just developing the story as it goes. And virtually none of it is literal in terms of, how I was raised necessarily, but it was things that I was around. And I think subconsciously just comes out in the lyric. And I remember those, being around farms, being around, just certain family atmospheres that you draw upon, and you don't really think anything specific. It's just really subconscious, I think.
I gotcha. Well, let's go right to that now and have you tell us about this next song we're going to play, which is a little bit of a surprise for you because you sent me 3 tracks and we're only going to have time for 2 of them, so you don't even know which track is coming up next. I'll help you out there because I think this title is a clever hook because in this day of age when there's an app for everything, I want to do this. Oh, there's an app for that. Well, you got one called There's a Drink for That. Tell us how this one came to be.
I was sitting down, and a lot of the songs in this record I just wrote by myself, but this particular song I wrote with a young girl by the name of Lily Nelson, and she's no kin to Willie, but
I was wondering.
Lily Nelson. She's a young girl, and she's really more of a pop writer, actually, and I'm kind of trying to bring her into, a little bit more of some rootsy type music. And, this one was kind of, it was a hybrid. It was definitely country and yet had some little progressive stuff in the choruses and everything. But, it was really one of our first attempts as a co-writing. We've been writing every kind of music you can think of, but that's how it happened. And she had the title originally, Drink for That, and I think she was thinking more of a pop type thing, and I talked her into going down this direction, and it worked out good. So
I believe it did, and I got to tell you, Anthony, before I let you go, I got to tell you, I love the old country feel of these songs. It's a throwback to the days of what I call classic country, or what some people call real country, because a lot of today's music is pop country or produced and everything. But I really like the personal country feel of this album. I thank you for sharing it with us, and we look forward to having you come back again and talk to us again soon.
Well, I really appreciate y'all having me on there. It's always great, and we'll do it again soon. And you guys take care of yourself and tell everybody out there in radio land I said howdy.
Will do. Thank you so much. Best to you, and do come back and see us again. Ladies and gentlemen, Anthony Smith, and here it is, a new release from his new CD, Anthony Smith, Got a Drink for That.
First time in a bar at your birthday. Just turned 21, wanna celebrate. They got a drink for that. New Year's Eve, got your eyes on the clock, counting down the seconds as that ball drops. They got a drink for that. You can pour you a shot, you can make you a toast to anything you want, but all I know, I'm sitting here staring at an empty glass, full of woulda, coulda, shoulda, wish I had. I'd open up another bottle of Forgive Me, but all of the whiskey in Tennessee won't bring her back. Lord, I wish they had a drink for that. Watching those fireworks light up the sky, with you in my arms on the 4th of July, they had a drink for that. First you said yes, then you said I do. We took a limousine on a honeymoon, they had a drink for that. We poured us a shot and we made us a toast to something about forever, but all I know, I'm sitting here staring at an empty glass, full of woulda, coulda, shoulda, wish I had. I'd open up another bottle of Forgive Me, but all of the whiskey in Tennessee won't bring her back. Lord, I wish they had a drink for that. sitting here staring at an empty glass, full of woulda, coulda, shoulda, wish I had. I'd open up another bottle of Forgive Me, but all of the whiskey in Tennessee won't bring her back. Lord, I wish they had a drink for that. Oh, a drink for that. Na 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 na. Na na na.
There's a drink for that. Hey, that's one, John Bon Jovial. That's one that should be on the jukebox in every honky-tonk in the country.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of great song. I love the guitar work on that. Harmony. Yeah, he hit a home run with that.
I agree. Good sound, and thanks to Lily Nelson, not to be confused with Willie Nelson, for helping him put it together. Really, really like that. Thank you, Anthony Smith, and also Jocelyn Alice, our guests for this week. Be sure and come back. Join us next week. We'll have some more good music and surprises for you. John Bon Jovial, I think it's time to take us home.
Certainly is. And artistes, if you are an independent artiste and you'd like to get your music played here on the show, be sure to send your EPK to David at TheDavidBowers.com. The David Bowers Awards is broadcast around the world from the studios of Computer Help USA in Naples, Florida, and also from the Valley of the Sun in Tempe, Arizona, and it's available for free on Blog Talk Radio, also YouTube, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Spreaker, Amazon Alexa devices, as well as SoundCloud, Mixcloud, and all these other silly social media platforms. Click the follow link on our Blog Talk Radio page and like The David Bowers on Facebook, and if you're a twit, then you can follow us on Twitter as well. Be sure to join us next week for the David Bowers Awards, Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern on WRFZ-FM 106.3 Rochester Free Radio and Blog Talk Radio, Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, and 7 p.m. Greenwich time for more great indie music and talk with the artists that make it all happen. So until next week for the David Bowers Awards, Nick the Geek, our wonderful engineer, I am yours truly, the legendary John Bon Jovial, thanking you for being with us this week, and we will see you next week right here on the David Bowers Awards.